So building off this idea, I kind of talked about confidence for a team happens from the cage out. Think about the cage on the front of your masks. I think confidence works from there out too. And I want us thinking about this outwardly exuding today. That's kind of my big theme for this summer for you guys. How do we exude confidence? The first place it starts, and we'll talk more about it in a little bit, is in your beliefs. Or in other places, your philosophy towards being a competitor. That's something I know I debate a lot, I talk a lot with athletes about. Because to me it's a really fun one to get down to. You know, when I'm dealing with guys that are kind of 14 to 20, a lot of guys don't understand what it means to compete. But that's a critical understanding, because that's what takes the average goaltender to be the great goaltender. Brian asked me last year in this thing, he said to me, "Hey Adam, what do you look for when you're watching us play out there?" I think he was surprised by my answer, because I think he thought I was going to go to the easy answer right off the bat. This is emotional control. I said, I look for how goalies respond after they've made the first stop. If it's a good rebound, even if it's a good rebound or a bad rebound, how someone battles through adversity. Does their belief system hold them together? Because I think guys with a belief system that has stopped the puck get in trouble. Because if they stopped it once, they kind of shut down. How do we keep battling? Do we have a belief that keeps us battling? The next level out we'll talk about a bit more today is the energy you bring to the table. The energy you bring to the table. I'll send an article around at the end. I just wrote it for the website for the Goaltending Consulting Group. And it talks about our energy and how it matters. There's a big myth out there. If you're having a bad day, as a coach ever looked at you and said, "You gotta relax." Have you ever been told to relax by a coach? What do you think? Or you've heard it said to a teammate? It seems familiar. There's sort of a flaw in that logic. Because I'm going to say from an energy level, you need energy to play a good goal. I was out there watching the drills that were going on. Do you need energy to move across the crease? You need to be explosive. So we got to figure out what's the right energy level. And how we allow our mind to work with it. So I want us to think about our body and emotions. The next goes back to what we mentioned for leadership, how we act, how we look, how we see ourselves in our heads. I'm a huge believer that even goalies that are physically small can play really big. And really big goalies sometimes play really small. And that to me is a head thing. The last one, it's kind of the easiest idea that sometimes we forget about, is how do we have fine focus? Because ultimately when push comes to shove, the goaltender has to basically what? Focus for 3 periods. How do you focus for 3 periods? And that's tough. Again, if you're a skater, you get to get off the ice every minute and flake out for a while, right? As a goalie, you really don't get that luxury too often.